How do you love a woman properly? You've been watching tons of videos about how to attract your crush, get in the gym, become more intelligent, look smacks, do all those right self improvement habits, work on your mental health, etc. But what if I was to tell you that attracting the girl is the easy part and that maintaining a long, healthy relationship and showcasing your love, learning how to love the woman, is the hard part, and when most people just give up and think, oh, this person's not right, I'm just going to go to the next one. But in reality, it has nothing to do with the other person and everything to do with yourself. Learning how to love, be grateful for someone, it's a skill and it can take time to develop. When I look at younger Adrian from last year, he didn't try to educate himself about how to be more of a loving guy. He got brainwashed and manipulated to think that that was being a simp and that you shouldn't love too hard because when you do, you're considered needy, cringy, desperate. Those are all limiting beliefs, bro. Right now, if you think you're too needy, if you think you're too much of a simp by showcasing love with your partner, the girl that's yours, you're a fool. A big, 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 big fool. A need. What is a need? Okay, guy and girl, our need for love. This is why we're in a relationship. You're going to need love constantly. What happens when you fulfill a need? The problem's solved. If you feel like you need reassurance, or that your partner needs reassurance, you give her love. And it fixes and fulfills her needs. It's not a bad thing. That's the first part of this video, which I want to kind of get your brain more towards the right side and not on the wrong side, with realizing that you can never be too needy, or you're not classified as a simp for loving your partner. Now, what is more like simp behavior? Simp behavior is when you're chasing someone who's not reciprocating your energy. Like the term simp, it's more like people who pay for those OnlyFans girls accounts, whatever you want to. That's simp. It's guys who desperately like and message girls who aren't interested in them, but they'll keep trying to pursue. That's being needy. But when you're in a long-term relationship, your goal is to fulfill each other's needs. You are a team that's meant to work together. And I feel like for most of us guys, what prevents us from loving strongly, filling our partner's heart with just love, is most guys actually are avoidant. And when relationships do get too close, we kind of fear vulnerability and think that we need space, or because in childhood we've been conditioned to believe that loving is risky and that you shouldn't take that risk. You should just be independent. Which, I'm not saying having your own independence is bad. Obviously, have your own independence, bro. Have your purpose. As I've said so many times in this channel, as the masculine man in the relationship, okay, prioritize your purpose, your goals, your mission over the relationship. But that doesn't mean you neglect loving altogether. When the time comes to love your woman, you fill her heart up with as much love as you can. Because I know for me, the more I can love harder, believe it or not, bro, the harder I'm gonna work during my work, like recording these videos. If I wasn't loving my girl as hard, do you really think I'd be sitting in this chair sharing this story? making this video? Most likely not. Most likely not. Number 2, I have my notes written down here. Number 2, understand her sensitivity to your actions. Bro, if you want to attract a feminine girl, you have to realize that you being the masculine man, she is dependent on you. Like when you take the lead, she's dependent on you. All those like masculine characteristics you provide for her, etc. She is quite literally, a large portion of it is dependent on you. So you need to start to develop a greater understanding about your own actions and how that can make her potentially feel. This can go as deep down as like micro expressions you make with your face. Your girl might react hostile, different, or think something's up. Your girl can read your moods a lot better than you think. And yeah, sometimes she'll test you, aka a shit test. But realize why she maybe flares up when you say something which you thought was fine. Yeah, it could have actually been pretty offensive, but most of the time, maybe she's just testing you to see the depth of your love. What's the story of this? Let's say I want to catch up with my guy friends, and I let my girl know, oh, hey babe, I'm seeing my guy friends tonight. And she's like, oh, you'd rather see them over me? She says something like that, which deep down in reality, she's probably like understanding. I saw her the other night. She's like, yeah, by all means go. But she sees this as an opportunity to test me. Now, how I handle this determines how strong I am as a masculine man. Let's say I get defensive back or I get insecure and be like, well, I never see my friends. That would be the wrong answer reply. She won't feel loved. And I didn't really understand the sensitivity from my actions and how that made her feel. As the masculine man, it is your duty to bypass these tests with your smothering love. And I learnt so much about this in the book I always speak about on this channel, The Way of the Superior Man. If you want a feminine girl, which I'm sure you do, because deep down you know you're masculine, you wouldn't be watching this video trying to improve if you weren't masculine. If you want the feminine girl, you have to realize that she is constantly going to be testing you and craving more and more reassurance. Not because she's anxious, just purely because of female psychology and feminine psychology and how they were brought up. Because, bro, you got to think, when they were little, who was their main figure they'd go to feel protected? Their father. Their father was once in a position that you are now in. You should feel blessed and grateful that you have this opportunity, or that you have these opportunities of these shit tests to love as hard as you can. Because there's two versions of you. There's a version of you who, when maybe your girl tries to test you, you get defensive, you get reactive, you're emotionally unstable, you're a bit of a sook, you're low testosterone, you argue back, maybe you even get avoidant, you don't like conflict, so you just neglect all that bad stuff. There's that version of you. But then there's the other version of you who realizes that whenever your girl does get upset, that doesn't mean you get upset back at her. You treat her, again, this might seem offensive or like, oh, this is so misogynistic and you can't be saying that. No, it should be equal. You treat your girl like how her father treated her. Playful, goofy, loving. Because feminine girls, they want to feel like a little princess girl next to you. And I know for like the masculine girls watching this video, they're probably going to disagree. They'll be like, oh, that's no. A relationship should be equal. Equal rights, feminism. If a relationship was meant to be equal, you don't need each other. What's the point? A relationship, you both have strengths and weaknesses. And your job as the masculine man is to bypass and just love as hard as you can. And yeah, you can say, oh, Adrian, it's risky. What if I still love hard and she still leaves me? Bro, that has nothing to do with her and all the insecurities in your own mind. Because I know for me, the more I could love, the more I could be grateful, the more I could be joyful, playful, goofy, masculine, the more that brought out my girls' feminine gifts, if you want to call them. And that's special because you love it. Don't say this is a lie. You absolutely love it when your girl is in a happy mood and you hate it when she's in a bad mood. But that's besides the point because her mood reflects your mood. It is your job, your duty, to make her feel loved in every moment. Bless me. It is your duty. Another slap in the face to you guys. Us guys like to think that when we perform some grand gesture, like a big gift, that will give our girl all the love she needs for maybe a long period of time. Now, I'm not shitting on grand gestures, but you need to realize that whatever gesture or celebration you do, she's going to feel good in the moment, but just that moment then. Because, remember how I said 5 minutes ago, how they constantly need reassurance? The feminine nature is all about the present. Your perfect track record means nothing. Also, women are not liars. You've probably been caught up thinking, oh, my girl said this and now she doesn't love me anymore. She's a liar. Perfect track record means nothing, and she's not a liar. They're all about the present. So this is why performing like a grand gesture, so many guys would do like love bombing. Give a girl, let's say, a car and expect them to love them forever. Which, yeah, in that 30 seconds of receiving the gift, they were super happy. But then how did you treat them after that 30 seconds? Did you still love him hard? Because if you gave him that present and then you went all moody, she's going to get moody as well. And that previous history isn't going to mean anything because it's all about the present. And you're probably thinking, oh, what? So all of those dinners, all of those gifts I gave her mean nothing. It's not that they mean nothing. It's that as the man, you need to be consistent in your behavior and you need to realize feminine girls crave reassurance, and they will almost be like a mini you in a good way. It's all about being engaged and as present as you can be in the now, because that's all that matters, bro. You need to start speaking to her with intentionality and depth. Have this playful side of you, have this goofy side of you, but when shit's getting serious, okay, Have a bit of seriousness, set your boundaries because that's loving, that shows that you care. If you're a guy who didn't set boundaries, do you even really care or love her? Probably not. And again, the masculine girls watching this would think, oh, that's controlling. That's no, no, no. I'm allowed to do what I want to do. Girls trip, girl holiday. I want to go here. Again, comes down to your values and your boundaries. But I think in terms of masculine feminine dynamic, which is what I'm speaking about in this video, boundaries is a sign you're loving as hard as you can. Having this understanding that grand gestures are good. It's not that they're bad. It's that you need to be consistent with your actions and realize that the small things like telling her a joke, giving her a hug, being present with her, the small things are actually a lot more important than the big things. Now, this isn't for me to say that you shouldn't try and make more money. You shouldn't not build your physique. You shouldn't make progress towards your goals. Obviously, make as much progress as you can towards your goals. But you shouldn't get complacent. Because if you do get complacent, that just showed what your true intentions this whole time were. And now ask yourself, what do you really, really, really want? Do you want a partner by your side who's going to be loving for you whenever you're loving back for her? Or do you want to be the lone wolf, depressed, sad, single guy? Not really. Finally, the most important part is you need to keep improving and realize that the only reason why you attracted her was because you were on self-improvement, because you showed to her that you're capable of creating a better future. Like I said at the start of the video, attracting the girl was the easy part. You were on self-improvement, you were going gym, you had so much independence. And now you're in the relationship, I'm sure more of your time has been taken up and you're absolutely loving it. But this just means you need to double down on your work. Be more intentional with your schedule because you have less time than what you once did, but you're happier than what you once were. But maybe being too happy and neglecting your purpose might make you weaker and less decisive slowly over time. Because you know deep down the reason why you started this journey was through your work, was through going to the gym, was through reading all those books. And when you catch yourself slacking, that's when you're not as present. That's when you're not as loving as when you were at the start of the relationship. Stick to your roots. And I guess the main message with this point is don't get too comfortable because remember, masculine, feminine energy, polarity. If you start going into your feminine energy and maybe even forcing your girl to go on your masculine, or she still tries to stay in a feminine, it's just like neutral, there won't be many sparks, fireworks, excitement, risk, love in the relationship as you think there might be. What matters most is how you make her feel in the present, not what you've done in the past. And so many guys still can't wrap their heads around this. present moment is all that matters. You loved your girlfriend half an hour ago. Okay, cool. That's irrelevant. How are you loving her now? It's irrelevant. You loved your girl 5 seconds ago. Irrelevant. I've been recording this video for 22 minutes now. I haven't loved my girl in 20 minutes because I've been sitting here. Everything I've done, it doesn't matter. It's how do you show up in the now? That is the most important lesson you have to take away from this video. Because us guys, we're so logical and almost, I know a lot of guys can be like this, almost like transactional. So when a relationship deepens, we'll start to get like, oh, I've done all of this and you can't think like that. You have to realize the more you give, the more you'll receive. This is a lesson in the book I recently bought, The 7 Spiritual Laws of Success by Deepak Chopra. What chapter is it? Chapter 2, The Law of Giving and Receiving. I actually want to get some... There was a good quote in this. Every relationship is one of give and take because giving and receiving are different aspects of the flow of energy in the universe. If we stop the flow of energy, we interfere with nature's intelligence. We must give and receive in order to keep money or anything we want circulating in our lives. Don't be a tight ass. Don't become selfish. And don't let your ego get the best of you. I hope this video has educated you, motivated you, and even inspired you to become more of that masculine man and realize that you can never, never, ever love too hard. I'll leave the rest with you. Get to work, self-reflect, and take action. You got this. I'm currently doing one-on-one coaching mentorship. It'll be the first link in the description. Also, make sure to click the subscribe button and also that little bell icon. So it'll kind of like remind you when I do post these types of videos, and you can watch them and educate yourself as soon as humanly possible. I'll see you in the next video. Peace.